Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Rob, and these are the top 10 best action games on PS5, as chosen by us, and hopefully agreed upon by you in the comments. Whether you've recently bought a PS5, welcome by the way, or been a proud owner since day one, these are the action games you need in your collection. A list that covers graceful martial arts combat, stylish roguelike action, and an eye-popping tussle with the Norse gods, and still finds time for a lightsaber or two. For this video, we've only considered games with a native PS5 release. That means they need this symbol when you highlight them in your game library, although of course there are plenty of incredible PS4 action games you can play on PS5 via backwards compatibility. Why not check out our PS4 Top 10 Action Games video if you need a refresher? Before we begin, it's worth mentioning this list is not definitive. These are our personal picks. If we've missed your favourite, let us know in the comments. Right, let's get into it then. In no particular order, here are the top 10 best action games on PS5. Our first entry, Returnal, is almost impossible to define. Shooter, roguelike, platformer, narrative-driven single-player action. Here is a game that evades the talons of genre with the same speed and skill as protagonist Celine, sprinting, weaving and shifting through a sci-fi scape of mesmerising cosmic horror. But as Celine blasts said cosmic horror into next week with a shotgun, you'll realise there is one way you can define Returnal, which is to say it's really, really good. The game is dripping in quality. Returnal wows you from the moment you exit Celine's crashed spaceship and feel the patter of extraterrestrial rain through the DualSense wireless controller. You'll be hooked even more after your first alien encounter, easing into the rhythm of Returnal's slick, thumping combat. Then the story gets you, a compelling, enigmatic tale cleverly woven into the game's die and try again roguelike structure. The first time Celine encounters her own corpse and realises she's trapped in a time loop is a moment spiked with thrilling Lovecraftian menace. I got genuine chills playing this. Ultimately, you're just as trapped as Celine, the big difference being she is having a terrible time trying to escape a cycle of constant death on a hostile alien planet, and you are helplessly playing Returnal with a big fat grin on your face. It's one of the best action games on PS5, and you need it in your collection.
Action isn't all about raining down gunfire, as Sifu proves with its commitment to badass kung fu gameplay. With its own spin on iconic martial arts movies in cinematic showdowns, Sifu's beat-em-up gameplay is incredibly Moorish, tasking you with taking down enemies as stylishly as possible. When assassins wipe out your family, it's up to you to get your vengeance by hunting them down across the city. You've got one night to batter them with your sweet kung fu moves and a magical amulet that gives you the power of resurrection to do so. But it comes with a cost. Each time you die and are brought back, you age, meaning you have to pull off a near-perfect run to make it to your goal before natural causes come calling for you. Sifu is a punchy, arcade-style delight to play without sacrificing any of its challenge. Adaptation and environmental manipulation will be key to making it through this one whilst you're still young and sprightly.
We're cheating a bit with our next entry, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, and once you grab this incredible package, you'll feel like you're cheating as well. Yes, you really do have two of the most exuberant action-adventure titles on PS5 in one bundle. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and Uncharted The Lost Legacy are luxurious experiences, spoiling you with best-in-class visuals, iconic acting performances from Nolan North and Claudia Black in particular, and the kind of swooping action set pieces that wouldn't look out of place at your local IMAX. The thing about Uncharted, though, is that it's got this essence, a joyous magic that's hard to articulate, but undeniable all the same. Playing these games feels like home. It's the same magic that runs through the cinematic adventures that so clearly inspired the series. A warm assurance that you're being guided by the hand of artists and storytellers who are absolute masters of their craft. because Naughty Dog aced it with both Uncharted 4, a gloriously ambitious game that ties up the story of Nathan Drake after bouncing him through Scotland, Madagascar and a paradise pirate island, and The Lost Legacy, a game with arguably the most charismatic leading duo ever in Chloe and Nadine. This PS5 remastered collection sees both games gleaming brighter than ever with upgraded visuals and immersive DualSense features. And if you've never played either, then what a treat you've got in store. And if you have played them, well, play them again.
I'm assuming if you're here looking for great modern action games, you've already heard of Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. And if not, then you've got two amazing recommendations to go along with this entry. Taking inspiration from the heavy metal blood flowing through the Doom series then, Metal Hellsinger provides all the pulpy, frenetic combat your little savage heart could desire, and then pairs it with ultra-satisfying rhythm action that demands precise attacks on the beat to deal damage. What you get is a stylish journey through the depths of hell as you slay its inhabitants with sword and shots alike. Soundtracked by incredible real-life artists that put the meta in this metal, it is up to you to accumulate as high a multiplier as possible to unleash the full power of the backing tracks. In a nod to the protagonist's journey to reclaim her voice from Hell's ruler, the Red Judge, vocals to Metal Hellsinger's songs only emerge when you're on a times 16 hot streak. My Grebo friends, this one is for you.
Hades is next up, a roguelike action title from developer Supergiant Games, a studio who already earned a place in our hearts with the likes of Bastion and Transistor, but with Hades have now moved into our heart's penthouse suite. This is some game, a vibrant, moorishly playable, endlessly funny adventure full of characters you'll never forget. Your character is Zagreus, son of the eponymous Hades, who's on a mission to escape the underworld via a series of rooms and dungeons filled with monsters to hack and slash. It's a simple enough premise, and those familiar with isometric dungeon crawling RPGs will feel instantly at home. But it's the execution that marks Hades as something truly special. This is a game full of life and character, the four regions of the underworld vivid and distinct, threaded with a narrative that's a joy to unfold as you inch your way to freedom, run by run, death by death. It's Greek mythology like you've never experienced it, familiar gods, myths and legends presented with a surprisingly artful flourish and to a gorgeous soundtrack. Hades is an incredible hack and slash action title and one of the most uniquely brilliant games on PS5. You simply have to play it.
Taking the shooting part of action games so seriously the protagonist is called Colt, Deathloop makes our list for top picks through its commitment to chaotic, brutal and blackly comic combat. Deathloop isn't easy to describe with all of its brilliantly weird moving parts, but if I tell you it's a first-person, time-looping shooter that tasks you with assassinating perpetual partygoers on a 1960s island whilst evading death yourself, that goes some way to explaining it. Oh, and there are paranormal powers you can wield to turn invisible and connect enemies together in little supernatural spiderwebs. You got all that? Deathloop is a menagerie of colourful characters that are an absolute delight to kill. A living puzzle as much as a challenge to become the most adept assassin on the Isle of Black Reef, the game pushes you to really think about all the ways you can utilise Colt's weapons and abilities to their full potential. And there's no shame in dying and dying again as you master this quite literal murder mystery. That is, a mystery of how to murder everyone rather than figuring out who did it. It was you. You did it.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is next, with developer Respawn channeling the movie magic of Star Wars into a lavish action game experience. You play as Cal Kestis, a former Jedi Padawan who survived the Great Purge initiated by the infamous Order 66, now in hiding from a newly formed empire determined to root out and exterminate anyone with even a whiff of Force powers. Naturally, Cal has more than a whiff. and it's not long before the star of the show, Cal's lightsaber, is in his hands, thrumming through the air, slicing down Imperials while deflecting badly aimed laser fire right back in their faces. I mean, if you want to make a good Star Wars game, the lightsaber is the bit you have to get right, and Respawn has nailed it. There's a deep combat system here, one that both empowers and challenges you. You can't just run in, mashing the attack button, but you'll soon get a feel for the timing on parries and deflections until you reach a point where you don't even need to look at the controller. You can just act on feeling and instinct, just like a Jedi. Nothing matches the elation of taking out an entire enemy squadron, not one hair out of place. This is wish fulfillment at its finest, and with sequels Star Wars Jedi Survivor coming soon to PS5, there's never been a better time to enjoy Fallen Order, a game that just gets Star Wars. The spectacle, the heart, the pshk of the lightsaber being put away after burning through a gang of stormtroopers. Oh, perfection.
Listen, if there's ever any opportunity to add Control onto a list, and specifically Control Ultimate Edition for PS5 here, I am going to take it. But let's give credit where it's due. The combat speaks for itself amongst all the other brain-breakingly good components of this weird little game. Considering just how well Control weaves between the fabric of the X-Files, the Twilight Zone, and even the infamous House of Leaves with its supernaturally bonkers story, and what a delight it is to uncover the freaky secrets of the oldest house as you explore its incomprehensible edges, it is fair to say that is an understatedly massive compliment. Control offers a fair challenge in taking on the Hiss, a dissonant resonance that has infected both the workers and the walls of a paranormal bureau, with boss fights and enemy types that will keep you working to hold on to your health bar. That is to say, combat is more nuanced than simply blasting your attackers, and as Jesse gains power and grows more competent with physical and supernatural abilities, the deadly choreography of flinging people across the room, clicking your weapon into shotgun mode, and slamming them with a shield of rocks evolves into a gorgeous, freaky ballet. Control just absolutely rules.
Now, you can't make a video about PS5 action games without including Dante. The trash-talking demon hunter is action games, his stylish brand of sword-swinging, gun-juggling combat making us swoon since the days of PS2. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition is quite possibly Dante's greatest outing, despite the fact he's sharing screen time with both Nero and newcomer V. This PS5 remaster of the PS4 original makes a few notable improvements. Ray tracing gives you all the shine you'd expect, but it's the high frame rate mode that makes the difference, allowing the smooth, flamboyant action to flow even better than before. This is pure action. Not so much style over substance as the style is the substance. Devil May Cry 5 is all about slicing up demons and looking cool while you do it. That elusive SSS rank, a carrot we cannot resist chasing. I mean, just look at this game, swiping demons into the sky and forcing them to hang there as you empty your sidearm into their stupid faces. Wonderful, glorious nonsense. There's added depth and variety with the addition of Nero and V as playable characters, plus the story is one that will excite and satisfy long-time series fans. But ultimately, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition is all about the action. And in that regard, this is one of the finest games you can play on PS5.
Now, can a best action game list exist without the God of War himself? Clearly not, as Kratos is swinging his blades of chaos and coming in hot with God of War Ragnarök, one of the finest experiences of this or any generation. Masterfully folding in 3 legendary weapons as the game opens up, Ragnarök allows you to choose how you use Kratos' skull-cracking battle prowess. You can harness the power of ice with the Leviathan axe, or fire with the Blades of Chaos, raining down elemental misery on all manner of mythological beasts from Norse mythology. And perhaps Thor himself too, if you think you're hard enough. It's not just Kratos that packs a punch though, with Ragnarok's narrative exploring family relationships, grief, maturity and destiny in a truly mesmerising experience. This is not a game easily put down, with the promise of just one more epic adventure pairing with a tease of the next extraordinary showdown each time you progress through a realm. It is gorgeous, it is critically acclaimed, and it is cataclysmically good fun in just about every way possible, especially for those after an action-packed title. Just definitely go and see for yourself if you haven't had a chance yet. And those are our picks for the best action games you can play on PS5. Which is your favourite? Any that you haven't played that you're excited to check out? What else would you add to this list? Let us know in the comments below, and check out our other top 10s for more fabulous recommendations on a variety of genres too. Don't forget to subscribe for more PlayStation goodness from the world of Access, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.